posture called bound angle pose, bringing your fingertips directly in front of your shin. Tilt your pelvis and torso forward as a unit and walk your hands out. When your pelvis cannot go any further, then hold. Bound angle pose will stretch the inner thighs and knees. This posture helps reduce fatigue and anxiety. Draw your abs in and support the spine. Now slowly lift the entire torso back by walking your fingers towards your knees. Once you're in this seated position, let's switch our ankles so we can stretch the opposite hip. Now let's try our gentle back bend. Circle your arms up and over your head, and now release your hands behind your back. Keep your elbows soft and your fingertips should be pointing towards your hips. Start at the base of the spine and slowly arc the back. Imagine that you are lying over a big beach ball, slowly coming up, curving through the shoulders. Now roll the shoulders back and open the chest. Allow your head and neck to relax. Now if your neck is feeling tight or sore, please keep your chin into your chest. This is the time to breathe and relax. Bound angle will stretch the inner thigh, the groin, and the knees. It will help open the chest and lift the heart. Slowly walk your hands back to your hips. So we'll bring our knees together and we'll come into a tabletop position. Place your wrists directly under your shoulders and your knees directly under your hips. Cobra. And we can build strength in our back and open up our heart. Walk your knees back, uncurl your toes, and slowly release the chest down to the floor. Inhale and straighten out the arms as the head and chest come up off the ground. Curve your torso up with your pelvis on the floor. You can keep a slight bend in your elbows to ensure that your shoulders are not tense. So slowly release your upper torso and forehead back to the mat. Push back into child's pose, resting your hips onto your heels. Now once in the posture, your head should be between your arms, forehead resting on the floor. And just take this moment to rest, relax, and breathe. Child's pose is a perfect way to restore and rejuvenate your body. So now we're going to flow all three poses together: cat, cobra, and child's pose. So curl your spine into cat position from child's pose. Slowly roll down to the chest, opening up into cobra. And now let's slowly push back our torso and forehead into child's pose. Let's use our breath in this vinyasa flow. Take a deep inhale, and on your exhale, roll up into cat stretch. Take a deep inhale, roll through the spine into cobra. Now push with the palms of your hands back into child's pose. Take a deep inhale, exhale into cat stretch. Inhale into cobra. Exhale into child's pose. Continue to flow cobra with child's pose. This flow will stretch the lower back muscles while building strength in your chest and triceps. Now let's push back into child's pose and rest. Our next posture is called downward facing dog. Tuck your toes under, and on your exhalation, press through the palms of your hands and lift your hips up towards the sky. Try to feel equal work in all four limbs so your spine is lengthening and your pelvis and ribs move apart to create space. So take another deep inhale, and on your exhale, we're going to walk our hands and our feet together, Keep your knees bent and come onto your fingertips. We're going to do a spinal roll up, so tuck the tailbone under, draw the abs in, and keep your knees soft. Slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time, articulating through your spine. Now roll up through the shoulders, the neck, and last the head. We'll come to the center of our yoga mat. Our first standing yoga posture, separate your feet about 3 to 4 feet apart. Make sure your toes are pointing away from each other. Your middle toe, ankle, kneecap, and hip bone should be in a straight line. Now raise your arms to shoulder height, keeping your shoulders relaxed, your spine extended, and legs strong. The back heel is flat, pushing out, so it is the furthest point away from you. Lift your arms even to your shoulders. Extend the right arm forward from your waist. Let the opposite hip tilt back while lengthening your hamstring. We'll cartwheel our arms from the shoulder by bending at the hip. Now you can anchor your hand on a block, your shin, or ankle. Lift the top arm, rotate your chest towards the sky, and turn your gaze to the ceiling. Engage your abs. Now roll the lower hip under and avoid letting the torso, neck, and head fall out of that straight plane. So breathe. Take a deep inhale and a long, slow exhale. So let's take another deep inhale, and on your exhale, we're going to bend our front knee and lift our arms back up into Warrior Two. Feel the strength and the power in Warrior Two by sinking your hips and lifting the torso up. Let's move into Reverse Warrior, taking the back hand on that straight leg while lifting the right hand up and towards the side of the face. Feel the stretch of the right torso and the strength of the right quad. Now let's take another deep inhale, and on your exhale, lean a little further into the stretch. Now let's come back to Warrior Two. Bring your hands back to your heart center, and we'll move to the opposite side. Turn your left toe out and go ahead and pigeon toe the back heel. Lift your arms even to your shoulders. Reach the left arm forward from your waist. Let the opposite hip tilt back while lengthening the hamstring. Cartwheel your hand down, and you can anchor your hand onto your quad or your shin, or you can rest your hand on the floor. Lift your top arm and rotate the chest towards the sky. Turn your gaze to the ceiling while engaging your abs. Now roll the lower hip under and avoid letting the torso, neck, and head fall out of that straight plane. Triangle pose will stretch your waist, hamstring while opening your hip and opening your heart. This is the beauty of yoga's power to build strength in one part of your body while stretching other major muscle groups. So let's engage our abs. Bend that left knee and bring your arms and torso back to the center, back to Warrior Two. Now lean to Reverse Warrior, allowing the hand to rest on that back straight leg. Lift the opposite arm up towards your head. Sink your hips. Look up towards the sky. Take a deep inhale, and on your exhale, lean a little bit further into Reverse Warrior. Now let's cartwheel our arms down to the mat, resting our hands along the side of the front foot. Slowly bring your back knee down to the floor, and with the weight on your hands, rest your hands on your knees.